So you know about the sufficiency experiment, but how does it really work? Well, this is what this video is about. I want to share with you everything you need to know as to how to get started with a sufficiency experiment. Now I'm working on a few assumptions here. 5 to be exact. Now, and the very first assumption is that you have read the book The Soul of Money by Lynne Twist and that you have attended some life exchange sufficiency book club sessions with us. Now, this is a vital assumption because in the sufficiency experiment, we want our participants to have a good idea of what sufficiency is, all right? And that's why we take them through The Soul of Money, those first 7 chapters. So the assumption number 1 is that you have already done that. Assumption number 2 is that you are on the Circle platform. I mean, this is the space. Forget about Facebook and Instagram and, LinkedIn and TikTok, This is our space. This is a space where we will connect with each other and share and build and design a life of sufficiency. When you pick up your phone, when you want to kill some time or you're bored or you want to engage your mind in sufficiency thinking, this is where you need to go to. You need to be on this platform. And so the assumption number 2 is that you are on the Circle platform already and that you have worked through the onboarding videos. All right, I think there's like about 6 or 7 onboarding videos just to make sure that you fully understand what the platform is and how it works. Assumption number 3 is that you have either completed, started, or at least know where to sign up for the course, The Neuroscience of Getting Unstuck. Now, Life Exchange is known for helping people to build new thinking patterns, to create new beliefs that will take them forward in life, to build new neural pathways on the brain. That's what we've been doing for nearly 2 decades now. In the sufficiency experiment, obviously, if we need to move from a space of scarcity towards sufficiency, we will have to build new ways of thinking. Now, in the past, what we would have done through a long-term one-on-one mentoring approach is we would spend some time teaching you how the mind works and then how to build these neural pathways and give you a lot of tools and tips and tricks to do that. And then we will target a very specific area in your life. We are not going to do that with the sufficiency experiment. We are going to start with the assumption that you actually know how to do this. Now, if you say, oh, I've got no idea, I know. That's why we are giving you the course, the Neuroscience of Getting Unstuck, where you will learn all about it. Now, normally we will sell this course to people for just over 2,000 Rand. But in this case, we are giving it to you for free with the belief that you will see the value and that you will actually do it. It is when we understand how the mind works, when we understand why change is difficult, when we understand how to build new habits to take us forward, that the journey of building a new way of thinking will just be so much easier, so much better. And so the third assumption is that you are committed to go through the Neuroscience of Getting Unstuck, and so that you can learn the language, so that you can get the tools to cause the change on a brain level. Now, there's a fourth assumption, and that is that you understand that the commitment is to go for a minimum on this journey with us for a year, for 12 months. Now, I believe that mostly people will stick around for 3. I believe we're going to build a community and people will hang around for a lifetime, but the minimum requirement is 12 months. I'll explain in a second to you why, but it is so important to understand that before you say yes, before you say sign me up, because it does ask for a certain level of commitment. And then the fifth one, the last assumption I'm working on, is that you do want to be part of a community, that this is not an individual goal setting, just all for myself journey. This is a journey as a community where we will work together towards an end goal. Now, Kubas, what is up with this whole community vibe of you guys? I mean, we live in a world of individualization and self-actualization and, come on. Why talking about community the whole time? Now, this is a vital part of our journey. And that's why I always say that, if you are committing to this, we are assuming that you are okay to become part of a tribe, part of a community. And this is why we have tested a lot of what we're doing through one-on-one mentoring relationships, and we know it is successful. What we want to see now is, Lynne Twist talks about that collaboration is the circuitry of prosperity. That's what we want to see. We want to see what will happen if we start collaborating with a group of people that think sufficiency. What will the prosperity be that jumps out on the other side? And so the very specific purpose of this community would be to design and build lives of sufficiency. Now, that sounds very individualistic, right? I mean, we want to look at your life. How can we design and build a life of sufficiency for you that will lead to emotional well-being, financial well-being, what else, physical well-being? How can we design and build a life for you as the individual to experience that? But the belief is that we can only do that through being a community. And so we want to design and build lives of sufficiency for ourselves so that as a community living with sufficiency, we will wow the world. Now, that wowing the world is up for your own imagination to decide why that is, by the way. When I speak to some people, they are talking about, I just want to explore sufficiency more. I just want to get one closer step towards sufficiency in my life. Other people talk about how do we make sufficiency part of our household. Some are talking about, will sufficiency really help me to be better off financially? I want to see if that's going to happen. Others want to change the world. They're talking about eradicating poverty in Africa. I personally want to disrupt industries that is based or rooted in scarcity, like insurance. I completely want to disrupt that industry and see what will come up if we think about insurance from a sufficiency point of view. I don't even think we will call it insurance anymore. So each person's reason or what they want to get out of this community will be different, and that's a good thing. That brings a wealth of different ideas, of different kinds of thinking to this community. So that is good, as long as the heartbeat of the community, the thing that pulls us together, is our interest in sufficiency, how to understand it, how to apply it, and how to live it. Now, this is how we're practically going to do this. We're going to take your life and divide it into 8 pizza slices, all right? So 8 elements or 8 segments of your life, 8 pizza slices. And what we're going to do is we're going to use each one of these slices, each one of these elements of your life, and we're going to turn them into a 6-weekly cycle. So this is what you can expect. In week 1, we will go into a vision building activity. This is a combination between all our Life Exchange neuroscience and the Hunger Project, vision project that they've done in Bangladesh and Somalia and all those places. We're kind of bringing the two worlds together. And in this first week, we will think about that area in your life, that pizza slice, and what an ideal world of sufficiency would look like in that space in your life. So that will be week 1. Week 2, we will build on week 1, and we will say, okay, now we need to commit and put into practice, and we will literally set a goal for ourselves in that space. And then we will design the process as to how will we get to the goal, and then we will take it and break it up into sprints. Now, for those of you that's not familiar with sprints, a sprint is the shortest, easiest entry point towards my goal. So it is not thinking about the goal, it's breaking it down into the smaller section. You say, in the next 2 weeks, this is what I'm going to do, and it will give me a 1 step closer to my goal. And then in the next 2 weeks, this is what I'm going to do, and it will take me a 1 step closer to my goal, and that's how we get to the goal. And so we will design these sprints, and we'll put one into action and say, in the next 2 weeks, we are keeping you accountable to go and do that, to reach that sprint goal. All right, so that's in week 2. Week 3 is very important. This is a off week. In other words, we will not come together as a community. This is not off. We want you to focus on your well-being on week 3. We want you to do something special that you kind of don't do anymore. Plan that date night with your spouse, go and visit the kids, or have a family evening where you play games with your children, have a bubble bath and go and read a book with candles, or I don't know, whatever makes you feel good. But this is not just an ordinary extra night. Now I've got a night off. This is a night we want you to focus on your own well-being. In week 4, we come back, and in week 4, now this is 2 weeks after your sprint, right? So now your first sprint is completed. So now we want to talk about it. How successful was it? Did you struggle with it? How can we support you with it? Should we redesign it? So we really want to connect around all of us achieving our first sprint goal, and then we will set the sprint goal for the next 2 weeks, right? And then as we move into week 5, week 5 is just a fun community hanging out evening. We get some speakers in. We'll get Lynne Twist to come and talk to us, or we will play the money game, or we will cook together. We'll build a cake together. We will do something as a community together. And then in week 6 is once again an off evening when it comes to the community, but it's an on evening when it comes to your well-being. Once again, week 6, we want you to take off out of this rush of life and just focus on doing something that's meaningful and purposeful for you. And by the way, we're going to keep you accountable. We're going to check in with you. So what have you done the last week, Wednesday, when you had your off week? What did you do for yourself and your own well-being? And those will be the 6-week cycles. And so after the first 6 weeks, we will move on to a next one. So let's, for example, we focused on our development, 1 6-week cycle. Then we might say, okay, now we're starting with recreation again, and we're going to focus on that, and then that will kick off another 6 weeks. Now, if you take 8 areas or 8 elements in your life and we times it with 6 weeks, we're kind of looking at a 10-11 month process, and that's why we ask for a year commitment. Now, if you say, Kobus, this is crazy. I don't even have a goal in my life, and now I'm going to have 8 goals in 12 months. That's crazy. You are more than capable, more than clever, and energetic enough to do that. But if that does feel too much for you, you're more than welcome just to say, you know what, I'm going to focus on this one goal in my life. Or, you know what, I really want to focus on, maybe 3 areas that's very important to me. And maybe I'm going to hang out another year and I'll go through this again. And then I'll hit a few other goals as well. So this is really to do within your own capacity. There's no pressure that you have to have 8 goals. I think some people have more than 8 goals as they go through the year. So that is the cycle, the 6-week cycle. 2 weeks on, 1 week off is kind of how we run through this. Now, of course, that sounds like a lot. So like what? Just in a nutshell, what are the expectations? Only 4 expectations from our side, and the first one is to participate, and to participate as much as you can. Now, people die and they get born and they get married, and they don't ask us when it suits us, when they do those kind of things. And so the first thing is, we know that life happens. We know that you can't be at everything. It's not possible. But the expectation is that you will attend as much as possible. Not only the live sessions. Remember, it's 2 weeks on, 1 week off, so you can easily plan around that. I mean, that's how people go to church anyway, right? So it's easy to plan around that. But the idea is as much possible live sessions, especially those week 1 and 2, is so vital in this process. And then as much interaction on the platform as possible. Even if you can't make a live session, we would love to see you on the platform. Hey guys, this is how it's going with my sprint. This is what I've achieved. Hey, Pete, I heard you wanted to do that. I just spoken to my uncle. I can connect you with my uncle. Oh man. So as much as we can interact as possible, that will make us a community. That will make us the tribe. The second expectation would be for you to maybe finish a questionnaire for us or a survey every now and then. Remember, we really want to track this as an experiment and see what the impact is in your life, and so it will be very good to get that information from you. The third expectation is that you will be involved or busy with at least one of these goals. All right, now if you have no goals, there's nothing to connect about, and so we really want you to be involved in at least a goal in one of these areas, and then be able to share that with us on our platform, so that we can connect and encourage and support and see the growth that you are experiencing in this process. And then finally, we want you to contribute to this community of ours. This is not a class, this is not a course and I sit in the back of the room. We want you to bring you to the table. And some people already said, "Course, I want to run a book club. We will run a book club for you guys. Can we do that? Show us what kind of questions, and I can get a very cool book club running." And that will be amazing. Some of you might say, "Course, I've got a huge amount of network of people, and I know I can get them excited, so I can recruit more people for this project." That will be great. Some people just said, "You know what? I so believe in what you guys are trying to build. I want to be part of this, and I financially want to contribute." And they sign debit orders and say, "This is what I want to add. This is the value I want to add to this community." Others said that they will run our YouTube channel for us, and maybe we've got a few that says they want to run with our social media. Whatever you feel you have to bring to this community, that is what we are looking for. What will be your contribution? This is a tribe. This is us collaborating, working together. And that will be the fourth expectation, that you at least just start thinking about what strengths, what gifts, what talents, what resources, what do I have that I can put into this tribe to make it a stronger, better tribe, so that together we can go and wow the world. If you have any questions, please email community@lifeexchange.co.za. That is community@life, X in the middle, change.co.za, or you can WhatsApp me directly at 073 303 8533. That is 073 303 8533. I just nearly forgot my own mobile number, but it is there for you. Would love to go on this journey with you. If you have any question, if you give us those 5 assumptions, like, "Geez, man, I've not done one of those 5, so what now?" Oh man, we want you to be part of this. We're going to work with you. We'll make a plan. We want to go on this journey, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to at least consider being part of the Sufficiency Experiment.